Hello, hello, who is right here with us today? Good evening, everyone. Okay, good evening, good evening. This is Choma Odikolo here, and you're all welcome to our weekly book review. My name is Choma Odikolo. I refer to myself as a masterpiece, a work in progress, a renewed parent, and a light bearer. So you're all welcome to our book review today. So if you're live here with us today, can you please drop a comment so we'll know you're here? Can you say hello? Can you say hi? So we will know you're here. Okay, so we'll continue our book review for the week. We started reviewing this book, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. This is the book over here. And last week we had our review. We reviewed chapter 4, 3, and 4. So today we'll review chapter 5 and 6. So without wasting much of our time, we'll go straight into the conversation of today. So we're reviewing the topic, the thought factor in achievements and serenity. That's the two topics we're reviewing today. So today, we're all reminded this month we've been talking about our thoughts, how our thoughts affect us as parents, how our thoughts influence the kind of decisions we make as parents. So it's just like a continuation of the conversation we've already started. So we're talking about how our thoughts affect our achievement as parents. What role does our thoughts play in helping us achieve our goals, our dreams, our aspirations, the things we have in our mind? Now, we must all remember that all that we achieve and all that we fail to achieve is the direct result of our own thoughts. So in this book, we are told that our thoughts affect, what we achieve, and what we don't achieve is like a direct result of our own thoughts. So our thoughts goes a long way to determine whether we're going to achieve our goals, our dreams, our aspirations as parents, or whether we will not achieve it. So the thoughts plays a very important role in our life. That is why we must not neglect our thoughts. We must always feed our thoughts with the right words, with everything good, because our thought goes a long way in affecting and influencing everything around us, even influencing our achievements. Now, we must also know that we have responsibility, to ensure that we think of empowering thoughts, good thoughts, uplifting thoughts, and not thoughts that will bring us down. It's our responsibility. The book also told us that a man's weakness, or our weakness and strength, purity and impurity, are of ours and not another person. So our thoughts affect everything around us. Our weakness, our strength, everything is our responsibility. So it still goes a long way to say that our thoughts is our responsibility. So it's our duty to nurture our thoughts. Like I did say last week, take care of our thoughts. It's our duty to take care of our thoughts like a garden, to nurture our thoughts, to ensure we think of the right thoughts, to catch ourselves thinking of the right thoughts. Now, the book also said that a strong man or a woman cannot help a weaker unless that weaker is willing to be helped. And even when the weak person must become strong of himself, he must by his own effort develop the strength which he admires in another one. So even if we must be strong, even if we must achieve our goals, our dreams, our aspirations, everything still boils down on us. It still boils down on our thoughts. It still boils down on what we are feeding ourselves with. Because the thing is that no one can help us achieve what we want to achieve as parents. Our goals, what we want to achieve for ourselves, for our children, it still boils down on how we empower ourselves with our thoughts, the things that go through our mind. Now, we must also understand that the book also said that he who has conquered weakness and has put away all selfish thoughts belongs neither to the oppressor or the oppressed. He is free. So when we put away selfish thoughts, when we put away disempowering thoughts, when we put away thoughts that do not make us improve or make us renew or make us grow as parents, we are free. So freedom actually starts from what we are thinking. Freedom actually starts from our thoughts. Freedom actually starts from the mind. So if we must be free, if we must achieve what we've set out to achieve, our goals, our dreams, our aspirations, we must ensure we do away with thoughts that will not make us to be free. We must ensure we do away with thoughts that are holding us back. Now, we must also remember that we can only rise or achieve by lifting up our thoughts. So we can achieve whatever we've set out to achieve as parents when we work on our thoughts, when we lift up our thoughts. There is this saying that, before you achieve something in physical, you must achieve it in the mind. Like you must have seen yourself doing it. So before we achieve anything as parents, we must have achieved it in our thoughts first. That is just to tell us the important role our thoughts play in helping us achieve whatever we've set out to achieve. Even before we achieve anything, even in anything at all, anything you want to think of, we must always achieve it in our thoughts. So what is that thing you want to achieve as a parent? What is that thing you want to achieve for yourself, for your children? What is that your goal? What is that thing you really want to do? You must first of all conquer it in your mind. You must first of all conquer it in your thoughts. You must first of all fill your thoughts with empowering things that will make you to achieve your goals, that will make you to achieve your dreams, and make you to achieve all you set out to achieve. That is what we must always remember, and we must always take cognizance of. Okay? Now, the book also told us that there can be no progress, no achievements without sacrifice. Everything we do, we must sacrifice. We must put in the work. And one of the sacrifices we can give is in our thoughts. One of the sacrifices we can put in is in our thoughts. So the question I have for us again is, what are we thinking? What is going through our minds? It's very important for us to understand what is going through our minds, because our thoughts plays a long way in helping us achieve our goals, our dreams, and our aspirations. Then the writer also said that the dreamers are the saviors of the world. So if you dream, like you're the savior of your world, because everything stems from the mind, everything stems from the thoughts. So when you think of empowering thoughts, when you think of thoughts that will uplift you, like you're just going to, like, it's literally saying that you're going to save the world, which means, like, to me, I feel it's like you're going to achieve your goals, you're going to conquer that which you want to conquer, because everything starts in the mind. He who cherishes a beautiful vision, a lofty idea in his heart, will one day realize it. So the vision we have for ourselves, the ideas we have for ourselves, one day we will definitely realize it. That is when we feed ourselves with the right thoughts, when we feed our thoughts with the right words, when we allow ourselves to receive the right words, the right teachings. When we just open ourselves up to the right teachings, it will help us a long way. Now, the writer also said we should cherish our visions, we should cherish our ideas, we should cherish everything around, we should cherish everything that stirs our hearts up, because the beauty that forms in our mind, the shape, everything stems from the thoughts. So it's just trying to tell us that the power of our thought is so powerful. Everything we cherish in this world, everything you cherish to do, everything you cherish to achieve as a parent stems from the thoughts. So the question I have for us is, what are you thinking? What is that thing you really want to do? What is that thing you really want to achieve? Do you want to work on your personal development as a parent? Do you want to make sure your children, do you want to raise wholesome children? Do you want to raise children that will impact their world? Everything starts from the thought. So the question we should ask ourselves, what thought am I thinking about this my goal? What thoughts am I allowing to go through my mind? Because everything starts from the thought. If we think of positive thoughts, it will help us to walk towards that direction of achieving our goals. But when we think of negative and disempowering thought, we'll find out that we'll even be weak. We want to put in the effort to achieve our goals. Then we also reminded that the desire is to obtain, to aspire, to achieve. Our desire to obtain, to achieve everything we want to achieve all starts from the thoughts. Everything boils down from the thoughts, starts from the thoughts. Now, we must also understand that the greatest achievement at first was at first and for a time of a dream. So whenever we want to achieve anything, our greatest achievement starts from our dream, our imagination, our thought before we can see it physical. So everything starts from the inside before it comes out. So we must also remember that our circumstances might not be the same. We might have different circumstances, we might have different goals, we might have different objectives, but they shall not long remain so if we but perceive an ideal and strive to reach it. So it's just trying to tell us that we might have different goals, we might have different dreams, different aspirations, but everything stems from our thoughts. The way we can achieve our goals, our dream, has to do with what goes on in us, what we're thinking. What are you thinking about that your goal? What are you thinking about that your vision? What kind of thought goes through your mind? And the thing is that, the writer also gave an example of someone working in a place. Probably you don't like where you're working, for example. You need to improve, you need to get to a higher level. It starts from the thought, it starts from the desire of wanting to get a better place of work. It starts from the desire of wanting to progress. It starts from the thought, the desire of wanting to do better for yourself. So at the point, your desire will be bigger than your physical, and you just find out that you just start to align. You just find out that you start to do things that will help you achieve your desire. So it's just trying to tell us that our thought is very important, because everything stems from our thoughts. Our vision, our goals, our aspiration stems from the inside. The writer also made mention of our present environment, how our present environment also affect our thoughts. So you have to check, as parents, what kind of environment are we living in. Environment could be people around you. It could even be what you're exposed to. The environment you're living in, or the environment you're currently in, does it help your thoughts to grow? Does it help you to be a better person? Does it help you to be a better version of yourself? That is one thing we need to take cognizance of. That is one thing the writer is reminding us today, to take cognizance of. The strength of our efforts is the measure of our results. The strength of our effort is the measure of our results. Our result in this sense has to do with what we are putting in. So what are you feeding your mind with? What are you feeding your thoughts with? What are the things you're telling yourself on a daily basis? Because everything starts from the thoughts. Everything starts from our imagination. Everything starts from what we are feeding ourselves. Everything starts from what we are telling ourselves. So if we must achieve our goals, if we must achieve our dreams, if we must achieve our vision, we must go back to the drawing board and start to fix our thoughts, start to catch ourselves. When you're thinking of a thought that is not aligning with your goal, you catch yourself in that instance and try to realign. So everything starts from the thoughts. Then the last part of it says the calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. The calmness of our mind is so beautiful, and we can only achieve calmness of mind when we begin to think of positive thoughts. We can only achieve calmness of our mind when we begin to think of empowering thoughts. We can only achieve calmness of our mind when we begin to fill our minds, fill our thoughts with good things, with things that are good, things that are empowering, and not things that would disempower us. The writer also said, someone is calm, a man becomes calm in the measure that he understands himself as thought evolved being. For such knowledge necessitates the understanding of others as a result of his thoughts. So you become calm as a result of what you feed yourself with. You become calm as a result of what you allow go into your thoughts. You become calm as a result of what you're thinking, your imagination, what is in there. Those are the only things that can bring us calm. So as a parent, do you want to be calm? Do you want to take away chaos from your life? Do you want to just live this life that you are at peace with yourself? Everything starts from our thoughts. Everything starts from what we tell ourselves. And finally, the writer said the right thought is mastery. We need to master the right thoughts. We need to master the act of thinking of the right thought. It's a practice. It's something we need to master. It's something we need to do on a daily basis to get to that point where we can master our thoughts. If we must be still, if we must be calm, if we must achieve our goals, if we must achieve our dreams, our visions, our aspirations, we must begin to focus on our thoughts. We must begin to place emphasis on our thoughts. We must begin to place emphasis on the things we feed ourselves with. So, what books are you reading? Who are you listening to? Because voices are vehicles. Who are you listening to? What do you expose yourself to on a daily basis? Because those things have a long way, it goes a long way in shaping the kind of thoughts we think of ourselves. So, as parents, it's just a reminder for us to pay close attention to our thoughts, for us to pay close attention to mastering the kind of thoughts we think of it on a daily basis, the thoughts we think about ourselves, the thoughts we think about our children, the thoughts we think about everything and anything. So even when you catch yourself derailing, even when you catch yourself thinking of something you don't want to, self-awareness, self-awareness makes you to come back and and just reframe your mind and start to think of something positive. So it's just a call, it's just a reminder for us to understand that our thoughts is powerful. Our thoughts is so powerful. Whatever we allow into our mind, into our thoughts, goes a long way to shape every other thing around us. It shapes our vision, our goals, it shapes our peace, it shapes our stability, it influences everything and everyone around us. So let's pay close attention to the kind of thoughts we entertain as parents. So thank you for listening to me today. Thank you for joining me at our book review. I believe those of us that have not listened will definitely catch replay, and the replay will be available for us to catch on the group. So I don't know if you have any question, any suggestion to add, to concerning this book we're studying, As a Man Thinketh. Any question, any suggestion? Okay, I can't see any. All right, thank you very much for your time. I believe a good number of us are going to catch replay. Thank you for your time. Let's remember to implement. Let's remember to work on our thoughts. Thank you for your time. I do not take your time for granted. See you in our webinar. Thank you. All right, we're going to have just 5 minutes break and we'll come back for our webinar. Thank you. Bye.